about to get off, but I want Ari Lennox and like our fans to know that like we have her in our thoughts. So on Monday,
Mm.
Ari was arrested at the Amsterdam airport for a disturbing public order. She tweeted out that she was being arrested in Amsterdam for reacting to a woman racially profiling her. The police said that they found that she was full of emotions and wouldn't calm down, and that she might have been drunk, and that's why she had been taken into custody. And I thought it was interesting because it's like Ari Lennox was labeled as emotional and therefore dangerous, and that just falls too closely into stereotypes that Black people see worldwide and nationwide. And that's Black people in general, but Black women in specific. It made me really think about like Sandra Bland, right? So I did a little bit more research, and I'm like, how could they just really stand in their own too, with her saying like this woman racially profiled me? And then I found out in September of 2021, a Dutch court actually ruled that border police can use ethnicity as a criteria for selecting people at for checks at the border. And at airports, that's considered a border if you're coming in from another flight. So they legally can ethnically slash racially profile you. So I think it's important for us to understand that it's like Ari wasn't bullshit by any means. Like that's literally what happened. They just justify it in their law. And I think that that's crazy. It's so crazy. But it's like, I don't know if you actually even heard of this, but it really reminded me like we shouldn't be that comfortable going like worldwide, especially to these European countries. Because I know when people are like traveling, they're like, oh, I want to go to the Netherlands. I want to go, or like Amsterdam. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to these other places. But we don't know how they see Black people. Amsterdam, I don't know if y'all remember. I remember in 2020, around when after George Floyd was killed and a national uprising kind of happened, Amsterdam came back and sat down and really started evaluating themselves as a country. Like the Netherlands started evaluating themselves as a country because they had something called I think his name was Black Pete. So their like Christmas celebration, their elves were actually like slaves, and white people used to dress up in full blackface and oversized lips and afro wigs, and they just got rid of that in 2020 because like the George Floyd stuff happened. So I want y'all to know that like all of these things are intermingled. And I think when we're traveling worldwide, we have to be cautious. We have to keep our head on the swivel because racism isn't just like in the United States, it's worldwide. And we saw that again, even with like the South Africa thing. So I just wanted to put that on y'all radar before we closed out, because racism is a worldwide epidemic.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, I won't say too much to that, but like I didn't know about that rule and that law, and so I think that it goes even back to our South Africa conversation, like who you're willing to stigmatize, right,
Mm,
versus who's stigmatizing you. You know what I mean?
mm,
And it's just interesting because we want to denigrate the image of Black people across the world. And uplift these white countries and white spaces and places across the world, even though they hate us.
so
um,
true.
and they still have laws that allow them to hate us and justify
Mm.
them hating us. And so that's definitely something that people have to keep on their radar.